Good morning, folks. I'm back at you once again. Now, yesterday, as per usual, I was watching a video on YouTube. Now, I'll leave the link in the description box for you so you can check it out for yourself. Now, it was I keep forgetting the name, Fit and Fresh, the Fit and Fresh podcast, where these guys interview a group of women. Right. So this time, they will talk about the nightclub scene in Miami, but I think by the looks of it, they were talking about a particular type of nightclub scene in Miami. I've never been to Miami. I've been to America numerous times, but I've only been to New York and Pennsylvania. Right. Well, parts of Pennsylvania, a big state. Anyway, right. So the question they were asking these women were about the prospect of men approaching them in a nightclub setting. And they were giving their feedback about how they feel about men approaching them. And, so they're giving the reasons why they don't necessarily like men approaching them as such. But that's not the theme of this video. I'm not really talking about their attitude as such, even though it's kind of part of it, but it's not the main thread of this video today. Right. So they were saying, so this particular nightlife scene, it seems like in this sort of club that they have tables, like VIP tables, and you have groups of people socializing in this on the tables, and maybe they go on the dance floor together or something like that. I don't know. And I've never been to... So for the way they described it, if you're going to go into this nightclub, as well as dressing the right way, you have to be able to afford to pay for a table. So as they say in America, it's supposed to be quite a bougie club. For those who don't understand the terminology bougie, it's a slang for posh or upmarket place, sort of place that you get footballers going to. Anyway, now, some of you know me, some of you don't. I will be classed as an old school boogie boy, a bouncy, fit dinosaur compared to you youngsters. I'm 57 years old, but I'm extremely fit for my age. If you've seen my other videos and that, you would know what I'm talking about. And this is not a brag. This is just a fact. I am fitter than the average man, even at 57. Anyway, so coming from the world coming from my world, even from my past, going back to my past clubbing days, and if I do go out clubbing today at this age, it's not necessarily the sort of place that youngsters would go to. It would be like a weekend event, like a weekender, as we call it. And the music and the setting is geared towards people of an older age group, and it'll involve fancy dress. So Saturday would be fancy dress day and stuff like that. And it's you stay in a hotel site. You stay in like in a hotel room on the actual site of the actual event, right? And then if outside of that, if I were to go to a nightclub, it would be like an over 30s, or be a funky underground what plays music that caters for my era and my generation. So if you don't know, I'll just give you a brief history lesson. So I come from the generation of the second golden age of youth culture. The first golden age of youth culture would have been in the 50s and the swinging 60s. The second golden age of youth culture would have been the late 70s up to the late 80s. Now, what was taking place in the second age of youth culture? Skateboarding, disco dancing, break dancing, hip hop had landed. So rapping and as I said, rapping, hip hop, house music, then the rave scene, and of course, if you're on the commercial side, the new romantics, music videos was invented. So there was a lot of things going on when I was a youngster. So I come from that age, and when I was clubbing, right, the main thing was the love of the music and dancing. Dancing was big time in. That was your kind of currency to get laid. The better dancer you were, the more chance of getting it on with the ladies. So the generation that I came from and the sort of subculture, the sub-youth culture I come from, dancing was really important. Hence why my dance skills is way better than the average person, even at this age, because I had that encyclopedia of dance moves to fall back on. Because I've lived through from funky boogie, disco, to break dancing, I even danced on roller skates. So I've got all of that reference to fall on. And the environment was get down and boogie and everyone socialize. And that's how it was from the world that I came from. Right. So that's the history lesson. So let's fast forward to today. And you got that nightclub in Miami. So each to their own. Each to their own. I believe live and let love. What floats your boat, it's good for you. If it's good for you, then it's good for me. But from my opinion, the way they describe this nightclub, right, that you're sitting in these tables with your group of friends, as we say here, it sounds very cliquey. Cliquey as in very segregated. It doesn't sound very welcoming. It doesn't sound very inviting. And the fact that the possibility of approaching a woman and just striking up conversation with her would be received badly, and yet you're in a social setting. It seems like a horrible place from my point of view. I was thinking, why the fuck would you go there? As a man, why would any man in his right mind want to freaking go there unless you just want to just not talk to women and just talk to men and dance with men? Kind of defeats the object of. I'm not saying that your only reason to go out partying is only to get a date. No, your first priority, and I've said this in my audiobook, your first priority should be have a good time. Have a good time. That should be at the top of your list. And when you're having a good time and you're smiling and you're really happy, you attract people to you because you're giving off positive energy, and you're giving off an attraction, so people come towards you. I featured this in my audiobook. Tales from the Little Black Book, One Man's Journey on the Dating Scene, available on Rocco 10 Kobo, the website. So check it out. Anyway, but the way they describe the nightclub setting in this club in Miami, I think, wow, it sounds awful. Sounds like a horrible place. And no disrespect to the women, they don't sound very nice either. I mean, like, a guy plucks up the courage to just come and have a conversation with them, but because he doesn't fit the right profile, I don't know whether they'll be rude to him, but they just don't come across as very nice. And this is, I'm tying this in with other videos. This is why I admire drop-dead gorgeous women, but I do not desire them, because they tend to have that kind of mindset that, I'm better than everyone else and I'm above everyone else. And excuse my language, but a lot of them come across as just beautiful cunts. That's why I prefer the pretty girl next door. If you're going to go for looks out of 10, I prefer like the average looking 5 to a 7 out of 10. The 8, 9 to 10s are the bad bees, as a lot of youngsters desire and worship. Good luck to you. If you want that, good. But I just can't get with that cold and welcoming attitude they have. And even if you want to attack me personally and say, oh yeah, but you're a low status man, you don't have much money and so forth. Even if I had the money, if I came into big money tomorrow, I still wouldn't want them, because what am I getting in return? I don't give a flying fuck to impress a complete stranger with some arm candy. Fuck you. So what? there's more to a woman than that. But if that's your thing, that's your thing. Good luck to you. Absolutely. I'm not telling you to go with my standards. You keep your standards and you keep it moving, as I say. So that's good for you. I'm happy for you. Brilliant. But like, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. So I have a question. This nightclub that they're talking about in Miami, is this just that sort of place? Or is this a reference to the nightclub scene in Miami? Is most of the nightclubs in Miami like that? Or is that just one of a few places that is like that? Are we talking about a select nightclub scene, or is that quite wide scope? That's the question I'm after. I don't intend to be going to them. Even if I had millions, I still wouldn't freaking go there. Honestly, I really, trust me. You know, what impresses most of you youngsters, I don't give a shit about at this age, really, you know. And when you get to this age, you will realise why. Anyway, I've used up enough of your time already, so there we go. Right, so let me know, especially if you're from Miami and you know the sort of club I'm on about. Actually, watch the video first before you actually leave a comment, and then answer my question. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, and then we'll, who's next? Okay, so we got Marco next. Okay, so Marco, tell us about, like, how should a guy move in the club? Because I feel like you have a lot of experience. You know what to do, what not to do. So just tell us about what clubs you go to and how should a guy move in the club to, like, you know, be cool and stuff and get girls.
I mean, you need to get your table. You need to get bottles, and that's all. You need to get 12 games, and that's pretty much it, bro.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now we should let the audience know that he's a promoter.
Listen, ladies nowadays, all they want is, I mean, when they go to the club, a nigga got a table, he got bottles, and that's it. That's all they want. So that's what you need.
You gotta have a good talk game.
Yeah, but I want to also say this real
say
quick.
yes to any guys that have a table in the club.
I swear to God. I'll get a drink and I'll leave.
But to be fair, nowadays, because of everything that is happening, you cannot get in a club right now in Miami if you don't have a table.
That's true.
It's not like,
so true right now.
oh, I need a table. No, it's a requirement. You gotta have a table in your session because of the
There's no general
events.
admission.
Also, I think we have to specify that we're talking about Miami nightlife and not just nightlife in general.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like when you go other places and you go to a club, it's nowhere near the capacity of the clubs that we have here. Whether it's the price of it, the dynamic you have to be, or look the part, or what car you're driving to pull up, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's certain clubs that won't even let you in, even if you have on designer, but it's like cloth or whatever. Like, you know, they want it to be what they want because they have a certain look. So I think when we're talking about nightlife, we have to be very specific about the nightlife that we see here, which is like super bougie, super
Very
high
upscale.
end. It's very upscale.
She got the right
like,
idea.
For example, Live just opened this past weekend. They went freaking crazy.
You know how
Like they
much
went
the table
insane.
is for?
How much?
20,000.
Spare or swallow? No, I'm just kidding. That's too early for that. But real talk, like, how is it nightlife in Miami? Because we're all from Miami, we're all party here. Like, how is it in the nightlife here, for example, like when you go to clubs? Is it like fun? Is it like tiring? Like, tell me how it is when you go at nighttime in Miami.
Well, I first started going out when I was 15, so I think the nightlife has really been a lot different since I was 15 years old. But going out in Miami really isn't that bad. It's just you got to get there a little early to get to an event. If not, you're going to be waiting like an hour in a line. So if it says to be there like at 10, I would get there like at 9 just to be safe, because traffic in Miami too, to get to where you need to be, you're not going to get there on time if you leave like 30 minutes before. You got to leave like about an hour.
And where do you go?
Where do I like to go?
Yeah, because I feel like most hot girls don't wait in lines. But, Talk to Marco, man.
We got to be humble, you know. Some people got to make that line.
I won't make it tonight.
No?
No.
Okay. And then, just real quick, like when you go to a club, like guys approach you, like how does that work for you? Like,
Yeah,
is it annoying? Is it?
It's really annoying, to be honest with you. I actually want to go out, have a good time with my girls. Like I'll be hitting up my girls and be like, hey, you know, what are you girls doing? Because I like to work a lot. You know, I'm really focused on like my career and trying to get like everything started. So the last thing I need is like some guy all on my ass and just annoying the shit out of me. I had a hard day. I worked really hard. I'm stressed out. I need a drink. I want to vibe with my girls. You know, catch up with my chicks, and then I just have.
This is all cap right now. This is all cap.
Thank you.
Like, what do you mean? Please explain to me how you're gonna go out there and vibe with your girls. You could do that at the house for free without being at a loud nightclub.
Sometimes you want to dance with your chicks and have a good time.
You could do that at the house.
Nah, that's shit like that gets boring.
Guys, translation, when she says that, I'm annoyed by guys coming up to me. I'm annoyed by ugly guys coming up to me that don't have money that hit on me and waste my time. You guys gotta remember, bro.
All right,
girls
you got
love
it.
attention and they love going to clubs and getting attention and getting free drinks from guys. It's like a game. If you're not her type, she's gonna just, you know, finesse you for drinks or whatever. But when a girl says, "Oh, I go to a club for my friends," that's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. Because you probably hate your friends, they hate you too, and it's just a passive.
I love my girls. I love my girls.
If Bad Bunny showed up,